You know, the older I get, the more I realize that love doesn't usually leave with a slam door. It doesn't always end with someone packing a suitcase or saying, I don't love you anymore. No, life has taught me that love is much quieter than that. It slips away in little moments, moments so small that we often brush them aside, telling ourselves, he's just tired, or he's been under a lot of stress lately. We make excuses because the truth feels too painful to face. I've lived long enough to know that a woman's heart doesn't break all at once. It breaks a little today, a little more next month, and then one morning, she wakes up beside the same man she's loved for years and quietly wonders, when did we become strangers? That question, it's heavier than most people realize, because strangers don't become strangers overnight. They become strangers one silent moment at a time. I remember a woman I met many years ago. Her name was Evelyn. She had been married for nearly 40 years. From the outside, anyone would have said she had a beautiful life, a lovely home, children who adored her, grandchildren who filled her weekends with laughter. But one afternoon, while we were having tea together, she looked out the window and said something I've carried with me ever since. She said, "You know what's strange? I don't remember the day my husband stopped loving me. I only remember the day I'd been feeling lonely beside him for a very long time." Those words stayed with me, not because they were dramatic, but because they were true. You see, the deepest heartbreak isn't always losing the man you love. Sometimes it's watching the love you once shared slowly disappear while you're both still sitting at the same dinner table. And if you've lived long enough, you know exactly what I mean. That's why I wanted us to have this conversation today. Not to judge anyone, not to tell you what to do, but simply to share 6 quiet changes I've seen over the years. Changes that too many good women ignore because they're hoping tomorrow will feel like yesterday. So, let's begin with the first one. He stops letting you into his world. Do you remember when he couldn't wait to tell you about his day? Even the smallest things made their way to you. Now, the conversations feel empty. You only talk about bills, errands, or what's for dinner. Somewhere along the way, you stopped being the first person he wanted to share life with. And that's a painful place for any woman to find herself. 2. His affection feels like a habit, not a choice. Love lives in the little things. A hand held without thinking. A hug that lasts a little longer. A kiss on your forehead for no reason at all. When those moments disappear, don't ignore it, because it's often not the missing kiss that hurts. It's the missing tenderness behind it. 3. Your feelings no longer matter to him. Have you noticed that every time you try to express your feelings, you somehow become the problem? You're too sensitive, you're overthinking, or he simply changes the subject. My dear, someone who truly loves you may not always agree with you, but they will care that you're hurting. There's a big difference. 4. He stops making an effort. A woman once told me the flowers stopped long before the love did. Not because she needed flowers, but because they reminded her she was being thought about. Love doesn't have to be expensive. Sometimes it's a thoughtful text, your favorite snack, or simply asking, "How was your day?" When even those little efforts disappear, Your heart notices. 5. You feel more alone with him than without him. This one is heartbreaking because loneliness isn't always about being by yourself. Sometimes it's lying beside someone who no longer sees you. You stop sharing your worries. You cry in the bathroom instead of in his arms. Not because you're strong, but because you've learned he isn't emotionally there anymore. No woman should have to carry her pain alone while sitting next to the person she loves. 6. He stops talking about us. Listen carefully to his words. Does he still say we, or has everything become I? When someone sees you in their future, they naturally include you in it. They make plans with you in mind. When that begins to disappear, don't ignore what it's telling you. Sometimes our ears hear what our hearts have been trying to say all along. 7. Everyone else gets the best of him. Have you ever noticed how patient he is with friends? How cheerful he is at work? How kind he is to strangers? But when he comes home, he has nothing left for you. That hurts, because the woman who loves him the most should never receive the least of him. 8. He no longer tries to fix what's broken. Every couple argues. That's not what destroys a relationship. What matters is what happens afterward. Does he come back? Does he reach for your hand? Does he try to make things right? Or does the silence simply continue? Love doesn't avoid every conflict. It chooses the relationship over its pride. 9. Your distance doesn't affect him. Sometimes a woman pulls away because she's hoping to be noticed. She becomes quieter. She stops reaching out first, not to play games, but because she's tired. When a man still loves you, he notices. He asks what's wrong. He wants to close the distance. But when your silence changes nothing, that can be one of the loudest answers you'll ever receive. 10. Deep down, you already know. Can I tell you something, woman to woman? Most of us know long before we're ready to admit it. We feel the change. We see the distance. But we explain it away because hope feels safer than heartbreak. We tell ourselves, maybe next month will be different. Maybe when work settles down. Maybe if I try harder. My dear, love should never make you feel like you have to earn the bare minimum. You deserve to feel heard. You deserve kindness. You deserve affection that doesn't have to be begged for. And above all, you deserve peace. Before you go, if some of these signs felt familiar, please don't rush to blame yourself. A person's inability to love you well is not proof that you are difficult to love. Never let someone else's emotional distance convince you that you are unworthy of deep, genuine love. You are still valuable. You are still enough. And your heart deserves someone who chooses it, not just once, but every single day. If this conversation touched your heart, leave the word hope in the comments. I'd love to know you're here, and your comment might remind another woman that she isn't walking this journey alone. And if you know a woman who needs to hear these words, share this video with her. Sometimes healing begins with a simple conversation. Until next time, take good care of your heart, because it is one of the most precious things you'll ever have.